Feel me without hands on this, man. Hold up, man. Fuck out of here, man. Yeah. I mean, embrace your Satan, nigga. Listen, it's the start of the ending. I'm departing, but sending this message out to scare this out. You would target that's trembling. You know what I mean? You should be doing this shit, man. Get on that shit down here. Listen. It go Hanna-Barbera, barbarian. Bars better than yours and your entourage. Paul Sean Berrien. You know how the shit go. No disco, Cisco or Calypso. Low pip, 4/5 smoke mixed with Indo. East African beast battering Chief Kimbo. Barefooted, stepping on hot cold Shaka Zulu. Spear chucking you frontin', I'ma shoot you. Hardcore rapping is worse. Go from the morgue truck to the back of the hearse. Go from the back of the hearse to back in the dirt. Change clothes, put a tag on his turf. Move on. Do Sean, you can't beat me, motherfucker, your shoes wrong. Boot camp for life, B. 9 times out of 10, you can catch me at Nikes. That's what I'm saying, man. I know. Listen, it's the start of the ending. I'm departing but sending this kite out, this lights out. You were marked with an emblem. Fuck is going on? Listen, it's the start of the ending. I'm departing but sending this message out to scare this out. You were target that's trembling. Cut that shit off.
The USS North Carolina reporting for battle. Guns blazing. Welcome back to the T.O.P Cast. I am your host, the incredible T.O.P. And tonight, I want to welcome you guys to a dawn of a new era, the Mack Era. Come get some of this Mack sauce. Stop being a regular burger. Anyway, tonight, I got my compadres, the incredible Ice Turner, the incredible TheOtherRayJ, and collectively we are known as Mack Era because it begins and ends with me. Salute to everybody in the chat. James Brown, Hunter, I see you guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we appreciate you guys. And for all of you guys who will tune in on the replay, we appreciate you too. Anyway, with no further ado, I'd like to have both of my guests join me just now. And I would also like to have both of my guests plug their social media also. If you will, gentlemen. Hello.
Guess either or, yeah. Well, my name is TheOtherRayJ, and yeah, you could just look me up on YouTube. I got enough content out there at this point to where you can find me. You won't find me and have a hard time finding me because you're looking for Ray J. You'll find me instead. So you can find me on YouTube, and you can also find me on IG.
Indeed. Ice?
Indeed. You can actually find me on YouTube under the same name, Ice Turner Senior. On Instagram, Ice Turner. On Anchor, Ice Turner, as well as Clubhouse, Ice Turner Senior.
Indeed. Make sure you guys go and follow these guys on their social medias. There you go. Got it right there on the screen for you. And I just want to give a shout out to my 200 some odd subscribers. So I think it's almost like 220. I appreciate y'all because in the last 4 weeks, I done more than doubled the subscribers that I had a month ago. So shout out to all of y'all. The title of tonight's live is The State of the Union, the Goofysphere Reloaded. It's kind of a jab at the manosphere. You know, nothing against anybody in the manosphere personally. We just going to give you guys our point of view on the state of the manosphere and how it's possibly hindering you more than helping you. Anyway, I would like to start out by saying that, in my own opinion, there's a lot of things that I've seen in the past 24 months in regards to the manosphere that I think is a lot more detrimental to guys than helpful. There's a lot of guys out there that, are not really real, but they're advising you on what you should or shouldn't do. There's a lot of guys that, they faking and fronting, portraying to be something that they really not. It's very, very easy to get away with, on this kind of a media outlet, because this can be easily contrived unless it's live, which is why I try to go live a lot. And generally, I just see a lot of guys doing a lot of complaining about a lot of things. And in particular, I see a lot of guys complaining about women. And, it's 2021. But I remember just last year in 2020 that everybody was on this, be on your purpose, be the best version of yourself kick. And I don't hear much of that anymore. And I would like to know from you, Ray, and you, Ice, do you have any thoughts as to why you think that is? And could you please share? Either or can go first.
Okay. In my most humble opinion, I believe it's all just a distraction, because they quit, per se, as far as getting on their purpose or their best life yet. So usually what happens when you quit something, you focus your attention on something to distract, yourself from the idea and others from the idea that you're a failure. That you're a fraud. You're not, who you really say, you were going to be. And more importantly, who you are.
Yeah, I could see that a lot of times these guys, to me, it's like I hate to say this, and I'm gonna be humble, but I'm gonna just say, like, what purpose? A lot of them don't even have a purpose out here. They don't know their purpose in life. You don't know your purpose out here on places like YouTube and things like that. So, this goes for not just the manosphere, but even the alpha sphere. Yep, I said it, alpha sphere, even them. Because they talk about the same things. They just try to re-hashtag it in a different way. A lot of them don't even understand the purpose of the purpose, and that's how you end up having a lot of accidents. And we see that all over, because it goes right back to these females. Goes right back to that, Starts off being on your purpose, but you hadn't figured out, the purpose for even a lot of these same women, if you will, that you have a problem with, because a lot of that will affect your purpose. So that's why they still go back to these women that they, call themselves. They either don't like them, like, for example, the manosphere, they just, they have this hostility, and, I see with the alpha sphere, it's about, just some aspect of control or not caring or having a sense of detachment from them, just not being emotionally available. But it's still, like, to me, this sense of not really having a hand on it. It's like it's just not, a lot of chicks I know that listen to that type of content, they still leave with their head scratched, like, you sure that's all there is to it?
That's very interesting that you both you guys say or give the responses that you do, because from my own point of view, what I notice is that a lot of the talking points in the manosphere seem to ultimately only be like fads. So everybody's into it this week, and then next week, is something new, and it's almost perplexing, but at the same time, it's not perplexing because I kind of understand, even though I- you would you have a tendency, or I do anyway, have a tendency to say to yourself, well, these are otherwise intelligent people. Why are they acting goofy? But I agree, and I like to tie into what Ray was saying is that a lot of these talking points that I just spoke of, one of them being, be the best version of yourself, ultimately leads to these guys trying to get women. And that to say, or to further expound on that, to say that, all of these guys seem to just be doing things just to get women. And they wonder why they have problems with women. And it's because they too focused on them. I mean, do you guys have any thoughts in response to what I just said?
Absolutely, I believe that's definitely self-deception. And that's one thing they'll complain about. Women lying to themselves all the time, but these guys suffer from the same ordeal. They lie to themselves because if you're on your purpose, right, which really, I just hate that. I just really hate that whole concept. It's very generic, it's very bland, and it's just redundant. Um, going back to what he said as far as having a hand on certain things, they don't have a head on certain things. So that's the problem. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a mind for what's really going on in their life. This is the reason why they're goofy. They don't take themselves seriously. They don't really even listen to what they're saying and even watch what they're actually doing. Like, this is fucking stupid, you know? Because it goes back to this, you say the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. Yeah, they can say it in their mind, right? I'm gonna be on my purpose. I'm gonna work your 6-minute abs. I'm gonna do 1,000 push-ups and drink milk, and then I'm gonna have this abundance of this. Pussy's just gonna fall out of the sky. It's really the same thing as even with these guys with these you call them the passport guys, the traveling and stuff like that. Everything, to them revolves around pussy because they deify it. Everything. You know what I'm saying? It was a dating coach that said that dating coaches will always be around because guys want sex. So it's a lack. Even the guys that's teaching it really are sexually frustrated. They're not successful with women, as though they lead you to believe. That's what you have is a cesspool of sexually frustrated social rejects. You know, pissing and moaning, or capping and hacking and jacking. That's just my piece on that.
Anything, Ray?
Yeah, man. I mean, the problem is like if you normally listen to a lot of their content, whether it's the manosphere or the alpha sphere, a lot of times when they talk, it's usually like, for example, like what we've been saying, they're talking about being on your purpose, you get all this done, you be focused on your grind, and then she'll come your way. But that's not even how it was even written. As it's written, it wasn't written the way they've been saying it. So last time I checked, that was the furthest thing from your mind, is if she was around or not. You're not being on your purpose, and then in the back of your mind, you're thinking, oh, she'll eventually show up. No, she's just part of your journey. She's not part of your destination. She's not an end game. When you become this type of high value man or something, you'll acquire women and things like that. So it seems like to me, obviously, I guess where I'm going with this is that they claim that they are the prize, but you're still making her the prize in some way or another. You just don't even realize it with the way you say things. So
Yeah, I agree with that. And the next point I'd like to touch on is that in regards to guys in the manosphere complaining about women, I see a lot of black guys specifically complaining about black women. And like I said before, to some point they are doing so rightly so. But you know, at some point it becomes unconstructive, and it's really unconstructive when you become hypocritical and you say about black women that they ain't no good, or you dissatisfied with them because they mess with white people or white men more specifically, and then you turn around and you mess with white women. I mean, to me that seems like a contradiction, but I could be mistaken. Do you have any one of you guys have any input in regards to what I just said?
You want to touch that one, Ray?
yeah, I think like with the way that you said that, Top, I think more or less is it's the way you go about getting around a white woman if that's what you choose to do. A lot of times, yeah, a lot of guys are pretty much, in a butthurt situation. So they respond, hey, get the white girl. Black girl did me wrong. Get with the white girl. See, I don't think it should be that way. I think you should, you just shouldn't discriminate in the first place. You should have an aura where it doesn't matter what color she is. She just got to be right. So that way, this even ironically goes back to the context of a black chick, so that you don't think all black chicks are bad. At the same time, you're not thinking that other women are necessarily better either. You're just more indifferent. So that way, the next time a black chick try to come at you like you just don't like black chicks, but she sees that, oh, you're like that with every chick, no matter what color she is, she can't say anything no more.
I guess what I can add to that, you know, the guys are saying that even the white drones ain't even checking for them. You know what I mean? So they're just, venting out their emotions again, and at the end of the day, is his brother, Ray has said, it lets your aura speak for you. You know what I'm saying? See, the problem is they love black women, right? But their problem is they care too much. They take everything, too seriously, and they can't really, they can't get the respect from them that they feel that they're entitled to. But the thing is, they have nothing to show. But like, I'm not even talking about stuff or position. I'm talking about possession. And I'm not talking about material possession. I'm talking about self possession. You know, Motherfuckers can't even control their own dick, right? They're tender dicks. Women see that and they can sit there and work the game. They can sit there and work on them and talk to them however they want. They can take all types of level of abuse, and then they just really just get butthurt because they're tired of the abuse. But if they go and say if they do quote unquote mess with Becky or you know a Rati or Carlita, or you know whoever your pleasure, right? So you meet them, they're gonna jam you up in a different way because a sucker's still a sucker at the end of the day. See, a lot of these guys haven't really admitted to themselves that they're corny. This is the reason why they can't get respect. I mean, and they're just as fake because they're holding masculine frame, just like a lot of the black women are holding masculine frame. You know, and they're both doing it for the same reasons: fear.
Well, I will say further from my point of view is that I agree with both of y'all and on specific regards. So in regard to what Ray J had to say, my point of view ultimately is who a man chooses to be with is really his up to him. It's his choice. My only issue with specifically seeing black guys uh talk down about black women as if they are not good enough, and then only to run over to white women while accusing black women of being up underneath white men, to me that's very hypocritical. And as a man, it's not a good look. And then furthermore, all of us black people in the United States, we familiar with the history. We know what our relationship has been like with these white folks. It's no need to pretend to act like it ain't what it is. You know, guys fail to understand that white folks are in charge. Of course, they got access. They got access you'll never have. Shit, the white girl from the trailer park with all her teeth missing got more fucking access than every goddamn black person in this country put together. But
Facts.
we like to avoid the reality, which is the next point that I want to cover. You know, a lot of these niggas is Negro Dinies. These niggas are fucking escapism superheroes. You know, they try to hide from what's true, and it's only so long that fake thugs can pretend, so to speak. What another thing I notice is a lot of black men, specifically, because this about men. You know, we ain't talking about women. So if you hear about women, you in the wrong place on this live, because they ain't the ones who got the problem. You dudes got the problem. But anyway, a lot of dudes suffer from, you know, an escapist mentality, meaning they don't like to operate in reality, you know, and they are just as irresponsible and unaccountable as these women. And proof of that is they complain about women. You supposed to be the man. What the fuck is you doing complaining? Any thoughts, gentlemen?
You want to hit that one first, Ray?
Oh yeah, I mean, it comes down to a guy, when you're actually just thinking about more so your life and your sanity, that's all that should matter. You know, the sanity is not going to be met through the bosom of a black woman, if you will. You know, it's not going to be met there. She should be meeting you, you know. So it's just all about perspectives needing to change. A lot of guys haven't been brought up to understand that, or haven't had certain experiences to understand that. So I think more or less about the young men coming up who may not even know these truths that we're speaking about. I feel bad for these young guys, because a lot of them, you're starting to see them starting to be a little more hostile as well. And it's only because of what they're learning from a lot of these Negro Dinies.
Oh, shit. See, why are you complaining about someone that was created, you know, to assist you? Someone that's created to worship you, someone that's created to be your living property, someone that was created, you know, to give you pleasure, someone that was created to be to be your helpmeet to your vision and to your mission, right? You know, why are you complaining about this, right? We all know how the scenario played out in the garden, right? So why are you complaining? So usually when someone complains about something, it means they have no power. They have no inner strength. So basically, you know, uh, put that situation into subjection, you know, to basically have a good firm grip on it, you know. Now, guys talking about this, the purpose, right? But then he also mentioned this program. The motherfuckers is telling you about a program, right? Don't even know what a program is. It just sounds cute. It goes good with their Starbucks coffee cup. You know, next time when someone presents that to you, ask them to explain what a program is. Okay. See, the thing is, if you're not developed, right, as a man, fully developed within yourself, the words that not only right from wrong, but what you should be doing and what you should not be doing. And, you know how to prioritize your time, your effort, your energy, right? And you understand the meaning to your life. It's why you're here, you know? You won't be complaining about women. You won't have a complaint. Yeah, they have issues. They have a bunch of stuff. I critique them, and sometimes I like to poke. I bid on them. It's funny. It's hilarious. You know, it's like Circus Olay. Women are entertainment. You know, either through pleasure or just through their folly. It's entertaining. You know, I enjoy women overall. A lot of these guys are self-defeated because they don't have all those things. They don't have the first things, right? The first fruits in order. They don't have that together. They don't have their shit together. They don't have their mind right. They don't have their life together. They're out here. It's like being broke and going out shopping. You know. But see, the thing is, these guys are a bunch of codependent pussy beggars. This is the reason why they complain. Because she knows what you want. One, you're either too scared to ask for it, and two, you're not really in position, and you don't deserve it. You're not qualified. You're not a man. You're just a hoe posing as one. Be honest with yourself.
Right?
Okay, I'm here. I'm here. Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same thing. Pretty much everything I said, that's pretty much what I see as well. It's just a lot of posers, a lot of imitators. I think more about these young guys, for the most part. Once again, I think they need to see a different level of um, intelligence. You know what I'm saying? They need to see a different level of wisdom. And I think that's been lacking. I think you have to hit people left field with a lot of perspectives. Yeah, there could be a lot going on with a lot of these so-called black chicks. There's a lot going on with them. But how about a different perspective that makes them think that, oh, maybe there is something I can do about it? I think that's what's missing. I think just having a perspective that can change the different paradigms. Like, yeah, I've never been all about a program. They're already programmed. So your program, I don't think it's going to be enough.
Facts.
I guess if you one of these guys that are out here, like, that talk about the real game, not this internet game. Okay, maybe that type of guy gets a pass. But these guys that are squares, nah, don't say program. Don't say that.
Well, what I would like to say in conclusion is that I see a lot of these dudes again, not willing to face reality. And the reality of the situation is that women go where the resources are. And the white man got the resources, which is why these women don't listen to these dudes. And instead of these dudes getting mad at the situation that they are in as men, being responsible, being the male of the group, and they don't want to be accountable for the situation that we in as a group, being men, allegedly men. And that's why I feel like a lot of black dudes are partake in a lot of escapism. Any thoughts from either one of you guys?
The reason why they partake in escapism is just like anything else. They just don't like to take the responsibility for anything. They don't want to be responsible. Then they complain about someone, of a weaker vessel that, can't help herself but to be irresponsible, because they can't deal with reality. They can't deal with pressure, That's why you have, the aggressive women out here that you have, the aggressive black women you guys complain about, because y'all dropped the ball. Yeah, it's your fault. What's going on is your fault. You dropped the ball. And you kept dropping the ball. This is the reason why they keep saying simple things, simple requests. They're basically telling you they will actually be your living property to their best ability if you pick the ball up and do what you're supposed to do. How hard is that? But the problem is you guys are pussies.
Apparently, it's extremely hard. It's harder than rocket science.
1 + 1 is 67.
On some other planet. Any thoughts, Ray?
Oh yeah. Of course, here's another perspective, kind of based on some of the talking points that we hear out here. Now, we know lately, guys bring up the analogy about the lions. Some bring up the analogy about the tigers too, for those guys, who do that, let's say. Some guys, they do that. Now, let's just bring this up from my perspective, what I possibly could mean, that I think would help a lot of young guys out here. I think more so is that, okay, lion needs the females to get what he needs, but he just controls them, he patrols them, if you will. So yeah, we see that as what a lot of these females expect out of guys, in regards to their idea of what being a provider is. So that's kind of the whole white man analogy that you brought up top. They don't see a lot of these guys as like the lion type, if you will, the one that can actually provide, protect, patrol, however way you want to look at it. So that's part of that frustration. But I'd say this: enter the tiger. He don't have all that. He just has himself. So there's another crop of guys out there that do a lot on their own. They don't have a lot to show for it, but they know what they can do if they get their hands on something. And so that reminds me of a lot of movies I've seen where there was an angelic type of individual that showed up. And one person, basically a one-man army, similar to Steven Seagal. A lot of chicks can't really say nothing about a guy like that because I don't really need you like that. I don't need the validation. I'm not even trying to do extra things in order to have you in my life. You're either going to be a part of my life or you're not. So it's like, I guess what I'm saying is a lot of these guys, they don't know how to think that way. They don't know how to shift their mind to be like, okay, I don't have all that stuff that the white man has, but I know what I can do when I get my hands on something. It don't come to me when I finally get my hands on something, because see, I've had that drive this whole time. See, and we know that's what a lot of these chicks can't even deal with anyway. They can't deal with a man that's driven like that. They want to deal with a man that's already driven there, but you got to drive there first. You're basically getting on these chicks' level with your talking points, with your arguments about why they should be in your life versus the white man. Whereas me, I feel like you should leapfrog that and be like, I don't care what the white man has. I know what I have. I know what I could get. You know what I'm saying? I know what I can do. So let's not talk about what he has. Let's talk about what I can get. So a lot of guys, if they start to shift like that, think more like the tiger instead of the lion from that perspective, instead of what you normally hear in the manosphere, I think things would be a little bit different. I think it would.
Yeah, I think a lot of things would be different and should be different, and I could say what should have been, what could have been, but all that is really just wishful thinking at this point. The key is what do we do going from this point forward? Um, it's interesting that, at least in my opinion, that it's called the manosphere. You know, man being the prefix, but yet all they talk about is women and how to control women's sexuality as if that's possible. And I see a lot of passive aggressiveness in a lot of guys, you know, that are in the manosphere and associate with it. Do you guys have you seen any of the same things or the same things or something different? Uh, let me know something.
I haven't seen anything different, and even with these para um I guess societies or environments outside of the manosphere, it's really the same thing. It's just let me just hit you, you know, with the goofy from over here, you know. So a lot of people ain't gonna really catch up to it because if you basically, you know, package it a certain way, you know, you probably get that off. See, the thing is, and the reason why it works in some cases, um, more often than it doesn't, is because, you know, black men lack discernment. They lack discernment. You know, there's certain, you know, characters that they believe that are actually straight men. You know, teaching you how you should be as a man. You know, and they've forfeited that, you know, that right. And you know, in here, you know, you basically have what the manosphere really is just a congregation of spineless, nutless, genderless, um, greaseballs, right? At the end of the day, because it's like you look at it like this: they're all passive aggressive. They don't really want to rock the boat. They don't really want to tell the truth, right? And you know, then they're like kind of like bitches, man. They take little shots at each other, you know, lightly, but then you know, as soon as that person makes it, they'll start kissing their ass. You know, you notice they'll be the first one that jump in line to have their cock in their mouth. Now they look at KS. They were making fun of KS and they're taking little shots. And now they can't wait to put, you know, his balls in their mouth, hopefully to get on their show or to get a shout out or to get a look, you know. You know, these you could listen to a man. You see, the thing is, you could listen to them, you know, long enough to see that they really ain't built on shit. But you can also see how they move, and they most certainly ain't built on anything. You know.
Ray?
Well, just to kind of based on what you just said, Ice, and similar to what I just said previously or prior just now, you know, let's talk about the Pookie and the Ray Ray argument, sort of. Some of the passive aggressiveness comes from that. Because let's say you do get what the white man has, right? Or at least some of it, because we know it's just some of it. She gonna treat you like Larsa did Scottie Pippen. She's still gonna mess with a Pookie and Ray Ray on the side type of thing. So it's like that's really not the point. Because like, okay, that type of guy, Pookie and Ray Ray, he didn't have anything. He didn't have what the white man had. But she's actually more attracted to him than you. You got similar to what the white man has now, right? You're now this high value man, so to speak. Yeah. But she only wanted the value she could get out of you, but she still is attracted to a guy who's, you know, he ain't got as much as you have. So it's not about what you have, it's who you are, it's your aura. You know, dudes be buying these chicks wolf tickets. That's the problem that I see. You know, you gotta stop buying a wolf tickets. So the passive aggressiveness, I think, comes out of the irony that even if you do get all that stuff, it still ain't gonna be enough because it was never about none of that shit in the first place. And they don't get that.
Facts.
Yeah, I agree with what both of you guys say. I would go even further, to point out for the folks listening and for you guys, in case nobody has ever thought about it. But in the red pill community, in the manosphere, what's the number one rule? The pussy is never yours. It's just your turn. So why are all you niggas complaining about these bitches and they pussy? I just don't. I don't understand it. To me, it indicates clearly indicates passive aggressiveness on these guys' part because they acting just like women, and that's how women act. Passive aggressive. That's how these dudes is acting. They mad at these women because like I pointed out, these women is in league with white man because white man got resources because that's what bitches do. They go where the resources is. And it causes these guys to be passive aggressive because these guys don't want to be responsible and accountable for the fact that they don't have the resources to combat her from going to the white man. And so instead of going to do that, solving the problem, niggas rather just complain about it and make a career out of it, out of complaining about bitches.
Exactly.
I
Niggas are
mean,
retarded.
I think though, Top, they're very good at talking about the problem. We got to give them credit for that. They're very good at talking about the problem. They talk about problems I wouldn't have never even thought of. That's great. Very good at bringing up the problems. Where's the solutions? But even beyond the solutions, where's the proactive forethought? You can't see that. See, that's what this Macking is about. Mack Era is about being proactive with these solutions. You dig?
True story. True story. Haha.
That's right. Mack Era. M-E. Start and begin with who? Me.
Me.
You, sir. The reason why you got problems with women is it's two reasons in my opinion, two key reasons. And we go speak on that. But the second reason is you. The first reason is like a lot of these dudes in the manosphere, because I heard it. I'm pretty sure I could just be simple to go back and find videos of niggas talking about it. How all these women, what I'm saying, it wasn't raised by no daddy, so they got daddy issues. Well, let's flip that to the other side. A lot of you niggas was raised by single mothers, so you must have mommy issues, just like the fuck I've been telling you niggas. And that's why the fuck you got problems with these women. So that to say, a lot of guys ain't been able to resolve the fact that their mother is their mother, yet she's also a woman, just like any other woman. And so she's prone to the same tendencies. Now, whether she actually do any of those things or not is another story. But, for the sake of simplicity, women are women, no matter where they at on the planet. Female nature is female nature. But in my honest opinion, and I would like to direct, this line of thinking to you, Ray, and you, Ice. But my rationale is that a lot of guys have problems with women, not necessarily because they don't have game or even because they might be corny or even fat and out of shape. A lot of guys, because they was raised by single mothers, got problems with women because they got problems with their mother that's unresolved that they might not even realize that they have. And what these guys don't realize about their very own mothers, her being the first woman in their life, is that as a woman, she's going to put her interests as a woman before yours as her son, simply because you're a male. That's why a lot of you guys don't got no game about women. You don't know shit because you fail to acknowledge the fact that you was raised by a single mother and you watch your mama walk 29 niggas in and out your household from the time you was 6 to the time you was 20 when you moved out, which means you don't be being real with yourself. That's why you got problems. Any thoughts, Ray and Ice?
I was going to say this is another thing. The reason why, not only just that, just to add that to what you're saying, but they also add this to it. Also, imagine, you gotta feed cereal to someone that looks exactly like someone that left you high and dry. You know what I'm saying? That broke a promise to you, that played you. You know what I'm saying? That burnt you and left you with the bill. So a lot of the times, your mother took out her anger and vitriol and hatred on you and sabotage things, in your life, in a passive aggressive way, or just even outright, because you look like your father. Because she still hasn't had that resolved issue, because now she hates, her parents. She hate, you know, your father, and she took it out on you. On top of her just being a hoe.
I just want to cut in right quick. The same way you guys see these young ladies out here acting, that used to be your mama. I'm just saying. Let's speak on it, Ray.
Oh yeah, you get that from your mama. You get that from your mama. So, you know, hey, and shout out to all the ladies too, because see, the mother sometimes takes her hatred out on the daughter as well if she looks like her father. So I think the females, if you will, get hit just as hard, just that than a lot of these guys. But these guys tend to end up more emotional. They can't, really deal with it over a time. Whereas, a female who has that same situation happen, she'll just cope with it, but be more vindictive towards the mother as time goes on. But guys like that just end up reckless throughout life. Now, with that said, though, now the mother, the mother, she wants that guy to still be seen because I do the female woman logic, and I know a lot of us do too. Both of us do in our own way. You know, she wants to see you as that male, but can't really deal with you as a man. You know, she's hoping you never really come to her like a man. She wants to always she wants to see you as that little boy, and then yeah, you're gonna grow up a little bit. So, but just be a male, not really be a man. So being a man means you kind of sometimes put your mother to the side. You know of her hoish ways. You've seen it, and you like, mama, no, I ain't got time for all that. You're not finna try to just try to hold me down and kind of mess up my views of what women or black women are like. You know what I'm saying? Based on the way you are. You're not gonna do that. So, but a lot of guys don't get to that point of where they can truly say that they think as a man. In that regard, because a lot of them still more or less think as a male, and that's what she wants. She wants that, what they call that son husband relationship. You know, she still wants to have that kind of like, I hate to say it, kind of like what KD has with his mom. Him and his mom, they close, as you can see. So, you know, that's kind of what your mother wants. She wants you to be mama's boy, not the man. I don't want to be mama's man. So I don't even want to be mama's boy either. So, but that's what she wants. And a lot of guys, they can't wrap their head around the fact that the problem is that you've always accepted this idea of being mama's boy, even when you're supposed to be a man right now.
Facts, and that translate into your interactions with other women, because again, your mama is the first woman you exposed to. That's the first female nature you exposed to, and if you don't get the proper information, then your program ain't gonna be right. Anyway, I just want to give out some shout outs to all the folks in the chat. The homie Hunter, aka my man Blair, always on the road. Keep it between the lines. Stay safe out there, man. James Brown, famous last name. I like that because it's a man's world. And don't ever forget it, youngster. Shout out to the young homie, Ronnie. Shout out to Five. Shout out to Polo. Shout out to Chi. Shout out to DXV. Shout out to Cam. Shout out to D Will. Shout out to the big homie GM motherfucking B with the sledgehammer. We gotta hit these killies ants with a motherfucking sledgehammer sometimes, my brother. Shout out to I want to say Moose Man, but I'm gonna say Most Man, and the homie Cab. Anyway, to continue with the dialogue, um, another thing that I notice about the manosphere is that a lot of guys is giving out quote unquote what they call game, GAME, and I just want to say and give a strong shout out to the young homie, Mr. Man Action, and advise all you guys in the chat and everybody who listened on the replay. I got it posted on my page, but go check out his response video to FitX Fearless, because it's a prime example of what I'm talking about right now. A lot of these, no disrespect to that young man, but a lot of guys is out here giving you what they call game. And to be frankly honest, guys like that, just like Mr. Man in Action said, they come get their game, or they heard they game from a motherfucker like me, who actually do the shit that these niggas be talking about. Now, in my opinion, and the OG Ron Wills also has a video explaining this very same thing, but in a roundabout way. You don't need no game to get no woman. She gotta like you, period. End of fucking story. And if she don't like you, she gonna try to make you a trick. And most of you dudes are tricks because you fucking with women who don't really like you. So what you need to do is, like I keep telling you, you need to learn how to like yourself first. And then you'll be able to easily recognize when a female like you. It's obvious as fuck. Don't nobody got to teach you shit. Nobody taught me. I pay attention. No different than what the fuck you capable of doing. Now, in regards to game, what are you guys' opinion about game and how it applies to women?
You want to hit that one first, Ray? You want me to take a jab?
Oh man. Well, there's only so much I'm gonna really say about game on YouTube, but well, what I will say is that you can get that from your mama too, you know. So you want to learn how she's been able to get by, just start listening to her, listen to her life story. But if she still doesn't have a husband, she never had one your whole life, your father hasn't been around, you can basically see the type of game that she was playing. The game is always on their chessboard in their hand, kind of going back to what I said earlier about this whole male thing. Males need their mothers, unfortunately. The whole Sigmund Freud thing, and that's another drop, talking about Sigmund Freud and how a lot of these guys have certain feelings for their mother, So you should be actually learning a lot of game from your mother, a lot of what she did during her life. Just get a dialogue of, a lot of these chicks that, you see the decisions. You can see the type of game they played based on the decisions that they make. Most chicks, their game is, they claim is long term, but it's actually short term. They have this idea of what they think is going to be a long term result, but what happens is a lot of their decisions affect them in the long run, but they just don't see it yet. So you have to actually learn the difference between a chick that is actually thinking about the long term in a positive way, like she's not thinking that she's better than a man, or she thinks she could do better. When you see a chick talking like that, that's a game, because she's putting herself above a guy. She's not seeing that a guy in her presence is, one that she should be attracted to. It's one thing to know these chicks don't like you, but a lot of these chicks don't really know what they should like. They're so used to the game, they actually like the game more than they like the guy. That's the other thing.
Booyah. Right there. And another thing, what these motherfuckers be talking about game and shit when here. This is Sega Dreamcast. All they're really doing is teaching you how to be better tricks and better deifiers of pussy at the end of the day. Because the real game, as I said before, happens on the concrete. Okay? And you don't need game, to have a woman like you. Okay? You don't need game for women, period. You know, and this whole shit with game and pimp principles and shit. How do you pimp principles, right? For a square broad. The idiocy of that. And these motherfuckers weren't even close enough, to the actual game, right? To even understand or know or even have, an ear to hustle on exactly what game is and what's really going on. And the thing is, they don't have it in their stomach to walk that walk, you know? What you basically have is a bunch of used car salesmen selling you a car with 3 tires, a broken axle. It's nothing there.
But she said, take me as I am, as is, no warranty. I am who I am. You're going to accept me the way that I am.
Everything happens like, look, you really, as I said, we talked about masculinity, right? I took it to the next level, but I said dimension talk, or being it pointed out to me, because I blurted out. I said, I'm over masculinity. I'm on a divinity now. That's another level right there. That's not even another, that's another dimension right there, because you don't really need that. You need this. This is what makes you stand out. This is when, when you have that glow, when you basically have that God in you, when you were tapped in, right? And some brothers that have said that, right? Whereas though you could basically be sitting somewhere, you could be posted up somewhere, and that woman will just look at you. She'll just look at you, and then she'll end up staring at you and then become enamored. Why is that? She don't know exactly what she's experiencing. You don't go unnoticed. You gotta have all these little, gifts and gadgets and up the alley, up the back way, dippity doo-dah bullshit to talk to her. All you gotta do, I told you guys before, I don't ask women for their numbers. I don't ask women for anything. Pull up the phone here. Put your number in here. Put your name there. And I'll give you a call or I'll text you when I'm free. And that's it. And it's always, I never asked them. I made a decision for her. What part of this thing you guys do not understand? See, the reason why you don't understand it because you're busy masturbating with your own mind. Okay? That's what the problem is.
Ain't no future in fronting. That's all I could say. Ain't no motherfucking future in fronting. I just want to address a few of the comments right quick. Most men said my mom called her man friends victims. Well, I relay a story to you. My mom, I can't ever recall my mom calling a guy a victim because my mom and dad was together until I was 12. And then my mom became a single mother. And I've been out my mom's house since I was 16. I'm now almost 45. But what I noticed that the women in my family used to do when I was growing up, they used to call a pussy a pocketbook. And because of the way I am, because I'm as logical as I am, it immediately struck me as odd. Wait a minute, your pussy is a pocketbook. You put money in a pocketbook. Oh shit, these hoes are some hoes. I still love them though. You know what I'm saying? But that's just an example of what I mean when I say that dudes got they problems with women stem from their mothers, because I know you done seen your mama do some whole shit, because you done later on in your life as an adult male that interacted with a woman and done the same shit with her that you probably seen your mama do or you think she might have done with some dude. But yet you don't, make the association because that's your mama, and Lord have mercy. Don't call her a hoe, even though she fucked 4,000 niggas before you was born. It is what it is, man. You guys cannot control these women's pussy. Period. End of story. Stop trying. Stop crying. It just ain't gonna happen. And even a pimp will tell you that. And them niggas is top tier when it come to hoes or women. Let me correct my speech. You understand what I'm saying? But anyway, as far as this game thing go, I think that it's just a buzzword, you know. And a lot of guys even say that, they when they say game, they really mean strategy. And I think that, you should say what you mean and mean what you say. So if you really mean strategy by don't say game, say strategy, so it won't confuse the person who you're talking to. But as far as women go, and don't take my word for it, go ask women. They'll tell you. Don't take their word for it. Go holler at the OG Ron Wills because he just put a video up a week or two ago saying the same thing. I could go get a lady friend or two of mine to tell you the same thing. When it comes to dealing with women, there is no magic punchlines. There is no magic intros. All of the magic come from within you. That's why I keep telling you, motherfuckers, you need to get right if you want the shit on the outside of you to get right. You got to make up in your mind that you go work out to change your physique before it actually happens. You feel me? Anyway, moving along. There is another cliche going around, and it's this idea of the high value man, or some guy who's materially, fortunate. So let's say like a Jeff Bezos, or like a Will Smith, some guy with money. How do you guys see or view guys that are considered to be high value men, generally speaking, based on your experience with, observing those kind of guys? Because me personally, when I hear shit like that, it sounds to me like I'm a big trick. That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm. It sounds very moist to me when you use the word recent high value. Am I right?
Like Duncan Hines
Yeah.
or like Biscuit Moist.
Shit. He said, man, definitely the Duncan Hines. You just didn't think about it because the word is supposed to be value. It's something that has value or it doesn't have value, but then you put high to it. It's something that females have to do with that extra because they always want more, right? How they say like, okay, I'm happy, but I want to be happier. It's kind of like that same thing. So when you put high value to this girl's like, I want a high value man, and the only thing she really brings to the table is her nappy head kids. It's just crazy. Like this whole high value thing is really they just want basically saying I just want a better trick. That's all it really is at the end of the day. You don't want to be a high value man, right? You want to basically be an honorable man. If anything, you want to be a thorough man. You want to be a sturdy man. And if you have money, right, or if you come into money, right, that's for you. It's not for anybody else. Unless you want to basically procreate and have children, then it's for them to pass on. I'm saying for you to pass that on to them. They do what they're supposed to do, right? But if that woman wasn't with you, passing the ball with you when you were shooting in the gym, she doesn't have any say so on your contract. I've been saying that, but guys want to basically stand on their wallets, and then they end up with bunny ears in their pockets. It has been said a lot of times that guys leading the conversation with their wallets and stuff instead of leading the conversation with their masculinity. Because, you know, if you're really leading the conversation with your masculinity, right, you don't really have to work on a relationship or work on a situationship or work on anything, that, you know what I'm saying, in the company of your woman or a bunch of women or whatever the case may be. Because at the end of the day, they're after your seed and your name. It's not the other way around. Somebody got to work on this or work on that. You work on yourself, okay? So you be above reproach. You know, that whole...
Yeah.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I thought you. No, my fault. My fault. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I thought you was finished. I was about to call on Ray. But if you're not finished, please continue.
Oh no, I'm gonna let Brother Ray do it. I mean, let him pop it.
Oh yeah, you good. I appreciate that. No, I was just gonna say, like, you know, for me, that's the problem is that they've made this high value man a label. It should be a description, but it should go as such. It should be not that you're a high value man, you should just be a man of high value. See, the problem is, like you said, Ice, they've put this other type of quasi label on a guy, you know. So you know, it takes away the whole aspect of just at the core what a man is in general. A man. But now being a man just ain't even enough now. You gotta be a high value man now. You know, just it's to the point where it's just never enough.
Jesus.
Niggas has gotta be superheroes in 2021.
Exactly, man. Damn.
This is my final thought on this line of the conversation. I pose a question to anybody who's hearing my voice right now, particularly guys. What's more high value than the truth? What's more high value than having integrity, which is telling yourself the truth? What's more high value than walking as a godly man? And that don't mean that you a pushover. That just means you about your business. You about the business of creating, not being chaotic. That's the question. That's the question I pose to you guys. Because a lot of you guys, you know, women too, but I expect this kind of behavior out of women. It becomes an issue when you see guys acting like women. For me, anyway. But I mean, you guys really need to go stand in the fucking mirror and quiz yourself. Ask yourself, what the fuck do you find valuable and why? And be honest. I mean, I don't give a fuck what the answer is because it don't apply to me. It apply to you. But the process gonna help you. How I know? Because I do it every day in my everyday life, all day long.
Mm-hmm.
It's called being accountable. It's called being responsible. You feel what I'm saying? That's what a lot of you guys don't do. And you know, as a consequence of being raised by single women, this is why a lot of you guys act just like these women. You know, no disrespect, no shade. I'm just calling it what the fuck it is.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm pointing it out so that you guys can go and take stock yourself. You know, you know what the fuck is up with you. I don't have to tell you. You know better than I do. Any thoughts in regards to what either one of you guys could really consider to be high value, Ice and Ray?
High value, I would say. I'm sorry, you wanted to go, brother?
Oh, go ahead. Let it rip. Let it rip. Let it rip.
All right. Respect. You know, high value is basically is remaining true to yourself. You know, first is really knowing who you are. I'm saying it's just, you know, as Brother Top said, as far as, you know, writing down things, you know what I'm saying? Write the vision down, right? And make it plain so you can run with it. See, at that point, you really know who you are. And then once you know who you are, being true to who you are, right? And then when you know who you are, you're being true to who you are, then guess what? You're going to basically be firm in your spirit and your principles, okay? Your principles always come first. That's it. When your principles come first and you're walking in that, guess what? You become a man that you can respect. When you become a man you can respect, guess what? You are, high value and beyond high value, because guess what? You become a god amongst men. How about that?
That's big
Yes,
facts.
sir. Yes, sir. Well, my thoughts about the high value man. I'm gonna tell you what they see about a high value man. I'm gonna tell you. Next time you look at one of them chick flicks and you see the guy in a nice suit, you know, kind of similar to like what you might see on YouTube, he got the office desk overlooking the city skyline, right? Nice car down in a parking lot somewhere that he goes jumping to after his shift is over with. You see a guy like that? Yeah, one of you brothers. Yep, one of you. Um, and on top of that, she sees you as a high value trick. Of course she does. She expects you to have that money, only be committed to her. You better not be cheating because you're already committed to her by getting on your hand and knee, giving her the ring. So you better not cheat on her from her perspective because she's going to take you to the courts. Basically, she sees you as a jackpot, high value jackpot. That's what she sees you as, just like on the movies. They tell you on these movies what they view a high value man as. They see you as that trick that's only going to be monogamous with her. Period. Nothing else. You better not cheat on her. You better not cheat on her. That's how they see you as a high value man. So for all of what they're looking for, when they finally get what they think they're looking for, they're going to make sure that they get everything that they want out of you and leave you going from riches to rags. High value in a nutshell.
And just to close that out, I just want you guys to understand that when you get down on bended knee, because your boys are not men, and you pay the Lord of the Rings, Sauron, and you get that motherfucker the ring of power, you now are a slave. So, you can't be mad at her. Be mad at yourself for self-enslavement. You dig?
And anytime you ever get on your knee to do anything other than to tie your shoe or to pray, you've compromised yourself. And guess what happens? You compromise yourself. It's different when a man does it. See, women compromise themselves all the time, right? But a lot of you guys, you black guys, compromise yourself, right? Not compliment yourself. Correction, sorry. Compromise yourself and become just like the European, except for you don't have the power or the position, and you're still owned by him. See, when you compromise yourself, you actually put spells into your life, and then you actually get cursed by God. You get fired from manhood. Okay? That's what happens when you do sucker shit. As a man, you know right from wrong. You know what's thorough and what's not thorough. You know what's sturdy and what's not sturdy.
Man. Now, I got a statement just to summarize a lot of what we've been speaking on. It's something that I've really come to marbleize, kind of saute it a little bit on the skillet, but I'm gonna add some more seasoning to it tonight. So usually my statement is you can give her the whole world and she's still gonna blow it up. Now, let's add some seasoning. You can give her the whole world, she's still gonna blow it up. The key is don't give her the whole world. Let her be just in a part of your world. Don't let her be part of your world. That's key. They expect you to give them the whole world. They expect that.
And the women expect a lot of things, but I'll tell you, this is what I expect out of you guys, because I expect more out of you than I do out of women. Because after all, we supposed to be the leaders in the leadership position. And so just like I'm responsible by choice, the same goes for the rest of you guys. Your irresponsibility, is also part of what causes a lot of your problems in your life. But because we getting close to that time, it's a dawn of a new era, and we done with playing games. You want to get women, you need to get the macking. That's what you need to get doing. And macking is about action. It ain't about watching YouTube all motherfucking day. But you ain't gonna get the macking until you get to being you, because that's who the woman like. That's who she wanna kick it with. And a lot of you guys be pretending, and a lot of guys be teaching you how to fucking pretend with pickup lines and dating shenanigans and shit. It's really not that difficult. It really is not that difficult. So for 2021, my suggestion for you guys is you need to develop a man code for yourself, a set of criteria that you live by all the time, 24/7, that you don't break under no conditions for nobody except for yourself, after you determine that there's a better option. Other than that, you're supposed to stay solid and remain firm. That's another reason why you guys have problems with these women, because you're too fucking wishy-washy. You this way today and you another way tomorrow. That don't work. You acting just like she act. But that man code should embody your belief system. And your belief system should be based on the truth, not no imaginary shit. I mean, if you want to talk about aliens, nigga, that's fine. But we all know you never seen none except on the TV or a movie screen. So, real men talk about real shit, not about shit that we made up, in our spare time, in our imagination. But your man code should embody your belief system, which incorporates your protocol, or what's commonly referred to as a program. See what I'm saying? Because these women, they the mothers. You got the program, so you put the program in the motherboard, not the other way around. Because they run, these women is running circles around you, dude. And I personally don't like to see the shit. But do you guys have any thoughts in regards to these guys developing a belief system, how to go about it, and the protocols and the overall program that would be associated with such a code? Ice and Ray.
Where's that one?
Well, yeah, man. The problem is they haven't truly come together to develop these codes and things like that. You can't be wishy-washy getting around guys, but you ain't really about action when you get around them. We could talk all day, but that's what the females do, man. They go to these restaurants, man. They had their little sister socials. We don't have that amongst brothers. We trying to get things done. We build and we let them socialize. We trying to materialize things, man. Trying to put things together. How can we develop codes if we're not coming together to develop these codes? See, I'm just not big on being around guys that just sit around and talk all day. That's cool, but what is the talking leading to? Let's be creative. Let's get creative. Let's brainstorm. No idea is a bad idea, but it's a bad idea if you have no idea. You see what I'm saying? So we see that what we see out here in these spaces, we don't know if half of these guys come together, for anything. I mean, yeah, they'll come together for some money, but it should be beyond the money. Actually, it's the codes that'll help some of the money come your way, because it's how you set up. It's how you carry it. Like you said, Ice. So if you got guys, they ain't even trying to carry things amongst each other, you forget it. Somebody amongst y'all is trying to be a little bit stingy. He just ain't told you yet. He's going to be the guy that amongst your singing group, he want to step out and do his own thing. He want to take his shine, you know, or take his, you know, he want to kind of copy what everybody else doing and try to be better than everybody else. So, you know, a lot of guys don't have code in them. It hasn't been coded into them, if you will, you know. So the way this obviously, yeah, can be established if you get a bunch of like-minded guys that actually understand this thing that we call about that we talk about, which is code. And I think, yeah, it just comes down to more Macks. You know what I'm saying? More Macks, less Jacks, less hacks. You know what I'm saying? That's what it comes down to.
Ice.
I mean, what can you really add to that, man? That was perfectly said. You know, it's just more Max and less Jacks. You know, there's too many people. You know, with an unoriginal idea. Like everybody else is trying to be everybody else instead of just being themselves and creating their own path. You know what I'm saying? It's like you look at 3 individuals right now that have built themselves up, operating in the same sphere, right? But coming from a different direction. But you see the uniqueness in each one of us, and you see how it comes together collectively. You know, the reason why this thing of ours, you know, has such a different aroma and flavor to it is because of that. It's because we've, you know, did that internal work, right? We went through the trials and tribulations, right? You know, you basically can hear the gravity of our experiences in our conversations. You know, we did the work, you know. See, the problem is guys don't want to put in the work or do the work. The hardest thing to do is really to work on you, you know. You can't work on anything else. You work on you, you know, and everything else will work for you. It's really that simple. You might have to take some time away from, you know, from the partying or, you know, the dating, what they say, which really is tricking because you're just, you know, auditioning and tap dancing for a woman that really doesn't even want you. You know, and I use the word women, right? I'm gonna be nice. You know, I'll call them females because, you know, some of the ones that that's telling you to take them on dates. Because if a woman is asking you to take her out to eat, right, or pressing you for dinner, or pressing you for anything, right, gimme, 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 gimme. She doesn't like you. She's making you pay a tax for you being, what do you call it? Not sure of who you are, being unsuspected of who she is, you know? So you got to pay that tax. You know what I'm saying? I
And that's facts.
don't.
Gotta pay that tax, and that's facts. And unfortunately, a lot of you guys is getting taxed. And I don't blame these women for taxing you because at the end of the day, women can't make men do a damn thing that men ain't already willing to do. And all I'm saying is, if you a trick dude, there's nothing wrong with that. Just be real about the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
And stand on it.
man.
And then I can respect you. But you can't be being a trick dude undercover. You know what I'm saying? That sounds like a whole new series. Trick dude, trick niggas undercover.
See, but my thing is, check this out. If you really want to think about it, in that situation, right? She's wanting you to pay up front just to be around her. There's no sleeping, you know, because usually the trick, he does pay and he does get to sleep with her, right? Now, in this case, you just taking her out on a date, taxed. Take her out on a date, you're not even sleep with her. Was that really him being a trick, or did she actually pimp him herself instead?
I don't believe women could be pimps, but she damn sure just played the shit out of them. For sure.
Oh, she did a pimp move. That don't mean she was a pimp. That was a pimp move, though. Real talk.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because my opinion is women don't have game. They come get game from men, or quote unquote game from men. But before we get out of here, because we're getting kind of close, and, I don't want to give them a headache. So I don't want to overburden them with too much information. Just in closing, I first want to thank you guys, Ice and Ray, for joining me for the live stream. This is,
Dude,
I would say, this is our first official episode as Mack Era. I want to thank you guys for coming through. You know what I'm saying? It's always enlightening and it's always cool to kick it with you guys. And before we get out of here, I want you guys to plug your social media again. And then I'll get ready to, you know, do the outro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Reach me once again on YouTube, The Other Ray J. You know what I'm saying? Just look me up on YouTube. If you look me up on IG, just at The Other Ray J, all lowercase letters. That's how you find me on IG.
indeed, indeed. And you can follow me under the same name, Ice Turner Senior, on YouTube, Ice Turner, on Instagram, Ice Turner Senior, on Clubhouse, as well as Anchor. And the closing statements, guys, up your spiritual level, you know, definitely up your spiritual level. I think that's imperative because when you up your spiritual level, then you strengthen your vibration, you know, um, dimension in a sense. Now, I'm not trying to get too, wordy or whatever like that. But when you up your spiritual level, you're not going to basically come in contact with the same shit that the average guy is dealing with. Okay. You don't want to be average. Okay. This is why a lot of these women complain because average. Average means struggling, struggling mentally, struggling emotionally, struggling with stability, struggling financially, struggling in other areas. Okay. Even like some of these dating coaches are struggling, in their sexuality. You know, I, I, I pray that you guys don't have those type of issues, man. It's a different beast. But any whore, yeah, up your spiritual level, and become a man that you can respect. I promise you will not care about anything else other than that. Become a man that you can be proud of. How about that?
That's facts. And my advice to you guys, and guys who've been following me on Instagram since I've been on Instagram, know I've been saying this same thing pretty much since I've been around kicking it with you guys. At the end of the day, what I'm saying, it's a man's world, just like James Brown said. And even though it wouldn't be nothing without a woman, us guys makes this thing go. And so if we got a problem with our own internal program, it's no wonder why these women is out here acting the way they acting. So stop blaming these women because they go do what they gonna do. It's like blaming a fish for swimming in water. It's just ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? But it's my conclusion that you guys need to focus more on yourself and your issues with women specifically will lessen because you'll be more of who you actually are when you interact with them. Again, thank you guys in the chat for coming through and being here with us on this live. Shout out to everybody who catches live on the playback. Pretty sure that you could get some of these gems. Some of them you might not get just yet, but don't worry because you will when you grow up. Anyway, I want to thank my guests again, the other Ray J, Ice Turner. Check them out on YouTube and Instagram and their other social media accounts. I got first episode of 2021 coming on Anchor Podcast. I was supposed to release it today. Unfortunately, that did not happen, but it will be out this Sunday. Check me out over there. Follow me on Instagram. I got 2 pages. my Ratchet page, which is the incredible T.O.P, and then I got the show page, the Top Cast. Follow me on both. Until next time, fellas, stay up, stay manly. Stop complaining about these women. You want them to be how you want them to be, then you got to build a world for them. Until next time, peace, fellas.
Peace.
All right. Peace out. Peace out.
The only thing I'm seeing I'd like to put an amend on, perhaps a little more room here for the fixins. You know what I'm talking about?
Ooh, we're gonna have a lot of fixins.
We're gonna have so many fucking fixins up in this motherfucker. This shit's gonna go through the roof, man. God damn, I'm shitting gold these days.
We made it. We made it. The devil, the haters, the bloggers, the papers, the labels, they label me. But they can't relate to our struggle, my nigga. We came up from slavery. Apologies go out to all of my fans because they waited so patiently. This one is for all of the lost and forgotten black angels that pray for me. A million niggas love me cause I'm ill. The greatest story ever told, niggas in the field. From Solomon to Sambo to Django, it's fact. I'm the Farrakhan of rap and I get it from the wheel. The son of WD, who hung around in the deep, who ran around in the street. The trap gods raised me, face all on the Sphinx, story all on the wall of the pyramids. Niggas know the black god saved me. You can blow the nose off, that won't change it. Obamacare won't heal all that anguish. We came a long way from the bottom of the boat. All praise to the Mack D, we found our language. Gold necklace, middle finger erected. God tried to Shabazz, styling on the record. Lost sons of Muhammad, we wildin' in the record. And Shad to Alad and Lahad is the message. All these niggas I got to fight one. All these devils I got to strike some. All these rebels just waiting on the wall cry. Mama said, son, you got to strike drum. Rock nation, celebration, motivation, elevation. Nigga, we made it from slaves on the slave ship, live from the cotton field, straight to the spaceship.
Kind of makes me wonder why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down. Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Hopped up a slave ship, popped up my chain and took it to Jacob. I gotta go play it. Walking that bitch like, nigga, we made it. I own my own masters. No, I ain't missing no royalty statements. I can't be rated. Damn, ho, stun on them haters. Sorry, Mr. Drizzy, for so much y'all talk. Silly me rapping about shit that I really bought. While these rappers rap about guns they ain't shot. And a bunch of other silly shit that they ain't got. I'm on my loop, peed up, young go. Stunting on stage after 12 years a slave. This ace of spade look like an Oscar. Black tux look like a monster. Don't make me raya. Nigga, watch your tone. I come to court with black boxes on. Y'all hella jealous of my melatonin. I can black out at any given moment. I'm God. Jesus 7-letter made. So with my arms to be shackle, I still get paid. All praise is due. I'm ready to chase a Yaku back in the cage. These are the last days. What do I sing phase? Showed up to the last supper. It's a brand new J's. I'm the true living. Book a hoe. New religion. Ain't from the other world. Alien superstition. You blind, baby. Blind to the fact of who you are, maybe. My bloodline's crazy. Kings and queens and Michael Jordan rings. I go stupido. Sucio. The flow's filthy. Y'all can't kill me. I've been inoculated from the snakes in the face and your corny handshakes. Cocksucker, we made it.